So, I decided it's a good idea for me to go ahead and tell this little story from the past. Um, like I said before, once once the divorce is over, I'm going to go ahead and do a series. It's a tell-all series about about our relationship, everything I did wrong and everything she did wrong and everything she and I did right. Um, uh, as far as I can remember, I'll make sure that there's nothing left out that could either exonerate or implicate. Anyway, so it keeps coming up this question of me being willing to work. It's absolutely ridiculous. Again, been working since I was 14. Since I was 14, I'm 39 now. I've been without a job like 5 times. Since I was 14. I don't know a whole lot of people who can say that. Especially nowadays when, yeah, everybody's hiring, but nobody's hiring. My dad, who's been working since he was 10, had trouble getting a job. My brother, who stayed with the same company for 6 or 7 years, he had a little bit of trouble getting a job. Anyway, yes, everybody is hiring on paper. But for some reason, it's hard to get a job. Not an excuse, because I can have a job by tomorrow. I know I can have a job by tomorrow. That's not the point. But everybody, well, not everybody, most people can say that they've had a job. So that's not entirely unique. And a lot of people can say they've had more than one job. Not a whole lot of people can say that they have had so many jobs that they regularly went without sleep for a week or 2. That was the longest period of time I went without sleep because I was too busy working to actually sleep. Between actually working my shifts and going to the next job and working that shift and so on, this endless cycle, I didn't have time to sleep. And, I said I regularly went a week without sleep. When I did sleep, I only slept 2 to 4 hours. During that time, the most sleep I got in 1 week was, if I remember right, 6 hours in a week. You're supposed to start hallucinating after 3 days. I didn't see that. Now, I didn't start hallucinating after my mind got so messed up by my wife that I started hallucinating traffic moving, which could have gotten me killed, by the way. Yeah, you ask her, that never happened. So yes, I've worked. If I am willing to get to the point where I can die, not from a dangerous job, but from overwork, you can't question my integrity when it comes to work. My previous job I had for 6.5 years, not Family Dollar. I'm talking about the one before that. Screw Family Dollar. They didn't even pay me enough to pay my bills. I was getting paid less than the bills I had. And I still had to pay for gas and any maintenance on my bike, which, that set me back a lot. And yes, I'm using my bike because what am I going to choose? My truck that's not even legal to be on the road, even though I have to use it sometimes at average of 21 miles to a gallon, or my bike, which is legal to be on the road at 50 miles to a gallon. Sounds like a hard decision, right? Anyway, again, during our marriage, I was jobless 3 times. Most recent being when I was a stay-at-home dad. Ask any woman. That is not having a job. That's just not getting paid. And, I've had people say, oh, well, in this day and age, you have to have a 2-income family, blah, blah, blah. We actually didn't have to. We didn't. I was actually making enough by myself. to take care of our family, and we still had extra money. And I asked my wife, please stay home. I make enough. We don't need more. I'll be able to take care of it. So then she goes to work anyway. Same place I work. Yeah, we make more money, but we were bleeding almost $1,000 a month, so we ended up not having enough money anyway. We were still scraping by, and we were making over $4,000 a month, which for some of you in the bigger cities, that doesn't really amount to much. But out here in rural Texas, yeah, that's a lot. For over $4,000 a month, and we were scraping by. We should have been bringing in almost $1,000. No, we should have been bringing in $1,000 more than we needed every month. And for some reason, we weren't. That's because we found out later after we quit our jobs for our kids. Yeah, imagine that. Sometimes money isn't the solution. Anyway, we quit our jobs for the kids because in 21, something happened to our kids. A result of a combination of issues. Those will be made public whenever, not the event, because I'm not going to put it online unless my kids give me permission. My mother-in-law, soon-to-be ex-mother-in-law, doesn't seem to have a problem doing that without their permission. A lot of respect there, though, she never really respected the kids. They're just kids to her. Anyway. Yeah, so $880 a month on nonsense. We were scraping by. I couldn't work on the house because I didn't have the extra money. I couldn't work on the house. Couldn't maintain our vehicles. I would sometimes go 5,000-6,000 miles past a bald tire to the point of showing threads, still going to work and back. Because she was spending $880 a month on nonsense. I worked, and I have no problem working. Go through what I've gone through. Deal with what I've dealt with. Sacrifice what I've sacrificed. Then come talk to me about how lazy I'm being, what a deadbeat I'm being. I've had people, my mother-in-law included, and my wife, oddly enough, even though she was there, trying to convince me that I contributed absolutely nothing to the household, nothing at all. I still have scars from it. I have bone damage from some of it. Joint damage. There are people in my life who remember those times. Many of them have tried to be very, very quiet out of respect for me. Some of them have actually said they want to say something and I asked them not to. Out of, oddly enough, respect for my soon-to-be ex-wife, who hasn't shown respect for me since we got married. She showed a lot of respect for me before that. Once we got married, that stopped. That's a whole story, which will be actually brought to public as soon as the divorce is over. But yeah, I work. I'm willing to work. I worked today. And yes, I made money. So, you're not living my life. You haven't gone through what I've gone through, so just shut your mouth. If you have a problem with my videos, watch someone else's. I'm not here to entertain people. I'm here to help people. If you don't want to be a part of that help, go away or shut your mouth. If you want to troll, go away or shut your mouth. I'm not here to stroke your ego. I'm not even here to stroke mine. Yes, I talk a lot about accountability. I'm not blaming, and this is directly addressing someone in particular who, unless they decide they want to be stupid and foolish and comment on this video like they know something, shall remain nameless. But I'm not blaming my wife for me not having money. I'm accusing her of making efforts to make it more difficult for me to have money. It took me basically getting angry for her to stop telling me last minute, the day of, what day I could see my kids. My time with them has become shorter and shorter, and later, as though restricting my time with my kids in the first place wasn't bad enough. Like someone who's abused me for 16 years actually has the right to judge me. At least I admitted what I did wrong. She has yet to take any accountability. Again, Family Dollar was meant to be a stepping stone. I'm trying to deal with this motorcycle shop, and no, I wasn't playing with motorcycles. That tells me that you've never done a single day of actual manual labor in your life. Most of my jobs have been manual labor. I have scars and calluses to prove it. I'm not playing with motorcycles. You carry an engine and tell me how much fun that is. I do everything from diagnose to rebuild. I'm not playing with anything. I'm not just sitting there tinkering with a carburetor trying to get a couple extra horsepower out of it. I'm taking people's machines and fixing what's wrong with them. And sometimes that requires me to pull an engine. Well, guess what? We don't have a lift for the engine. So you know what I have to do? I have to grab it in my arms and carry it. Some of these engines weigh more than me. Sound like I'm playing? Family Dollar was not only, yes, a very toxic environment, and I don't care. No, I'm not a liberal, and the only reason I can't show the proof is because I don't want my video taken down. Yay, YouTube community standards. No, I'm not a liberal. I'm just not stupid. If you're willing to absolutely wreck your body and your mind to keep up with whatever the world thinks you should be doing, go right ahead. Don't force me to do it. I did that. I did that long enough to learn that there's no actual benefit to it. And my children lose what's most important to them. Money is not what's most important. Yes, this world turns on a dime. But my children don't. I'm not living with my children right now. My wife is keeping them in a place I'm not even allowed to go, which is actually against the court's rules. But whatever. Too late to do anything about that now. The judge will make her answer for that. I still am looking. I've got a couple of places that I'm putting applications in, and it's not just, I put an application in and then hope they don't hire me. It's, no, I know that I can get this job. I'm not putting in these applications just to get people off my back. I'm not a kid. I know I can get these jobs. But nevertheless, my occupation isn't your business. And why I'm working where I'm working is also not your business. I'm not posting these videos to make you feel better about my life. I'm certainly not posting them for her benefit. I couldn't care less what she thinks about these. If I cared about that, I'd be saying a whole lot less about her. And honestly, if she didn't have my kids, if the kids weren't involved, she'd never hear from me again. She's put me through more pain than any other human I've ever known. And I dealt with a lot of messed up people in my life. So anyway, no, I don't have a problem working. I have a problem working pointlessly. If the only thing that you're considering is money when you go get a job, you either don't have kids or you don't care about your kids. Because I guarantee you they're not going to care what you made. They're going to care whether you were there or not. And if my job interferes with me being there with or for my children, then that job is gone. I'll never, ever make my children pay for the money I make again. Like I said, you haven't gone through what I've gone through. And your children have likely not gone through what my children have. So if you have a problem with what I'm saying on my videos, find somebody else's videos. If you want to try and call me out, be prepared to be called out.